I got on here this morning because I just want to encourage the ladies to stay soft. A couple things have happened over the past couple of days that have really just reminded me that God created women to be soft and feminine and nurturing and gentle and caring. And this world will try to make you something other than that. You know, as a therapist, I can tell you that our nervous system is wired to always protect ourselves, right? And so the first law of nature is self-preservation. And a lot of times what happens is that the world and experiences in this world can hurt us. And it can harm us, and it can make us feel unsafe, staying soft. And so as a protective mechanism or defense mechanism, we go hard and we become aggressive, and we start to protect ourselves. But that was not the nature that God created for us to be. The Bible says that women are the weaker vessel. And I've always pondered that because I don't see weak women, right? I don't see women who are weak. And in fact, I find that there are a lot of men who, in my personal opinion, are actually weaker than women. But as I really pondered that concept, it just sort of dawned on me that what makes us weak is our heart. We are actually more likely and more prone to lead with our heart than with our head. And the world will try to turn you against feeling and being sensitive and being intuitive, because it will try to make that seem like a dangerous thing. And so the question then becomes, how do you stay soft in a world that really demands that you be hard? And I know that this is not going to be a popular belief or a popular concept, but I really do believe that the feminine and the masculine energy were supposed to always work in concert and work work together. And so there are men in your life who were called, whether you're married, in a significant relationship or not, who were called to protect you. And sometimes we have to defer to that masculine energy to keep us safe. So what does that look like? Well, recently I read an article, and I realized that I think it's Halle Bailey was involved. I don't follow pop culture as much as, you know, some may, and so please forgive me if some of the details are off, but we all know that this is the girl from The Little Mermaid, the black girl that sang and acted in The Little Mermaid. It was a big controversy over that. You could just tell through the screen that she's a sweet spirit and a gentle spirit. And I think it surprised the world when she popped up pregnant. And as you kind of may or not know about her relationship with some guy named DDG, apparently things have gone south, and they are now in a custody battle for this child. And you see him posting a lot of content trying to frame her as crazy and mentally unstable and all the things. And he even posted some things about her threatening to take her life because, you know, she was triggered by his cheating, his chronic cheating, and just mistreatment of her. And, you know, as I read that, I felt two things in reading it. I felt, number one, just this serious maternal drive to want to protect her and want to hug her, but also this maternal drive to want to just spank her. Like, really, girl, why are you in this situation? And it upset me so much because at the same time I want to pull her in and hug her, I want to pull her in and beat her, you know, not beat her like literally, but like, why are you in this situation with someone who is mishandling you, weaponizing your mental instability, which they have caused, they have triggered. And so I immediately thought, where's her father? Where are her brothers? Where are her uncles? You know, where are the men in her community that was supposed to step in long before she ever laid down with a man who clearly did not love her? Because love doesn't do this. Love doesn't turn its back and try to harm. And if you really believe that someone is mentally unstable, to post that for the world to see, to shame and humiliate them, what if that did drive her to proceed with taking her life, unaliving herself? That's not love. Love doesn't do that. And so love always protects. That's 1 Corinthians 13. You know, love will protect. And so I was angry and frustrated because where's the village? Where's the village? You know, women, it's always been understood that women are supposed to, well, traditionally, I should say, women will require a man to ask for her hand in marriage, ask her father or her father figure, or the what do you call it? The patriarch, the man who is covering her, her pastor even, for permission to marry her. But I want to back it on up. Before you even get to the point of asking to marry me, even having a conversation with what are your intentions at first date. What are your intentions? Because after you've spoken with someone for a day or two or a couple dates, it's time for them to meet the men in your life, because they need to be vetted. You know, women vet women and men vet men. I have 3 sons. You best believe if they are they're young, none of them are over adult, you know, the age of maturity. My oldest is actually 16. And you better believe that any serious relationship they intend to be in, they already know, I need to meet her. I need to vet her. And it's not to criticize or judge or to evaluate, are you worthy? But I need to lay eyes, because there are things some women can see that men can't see in another woman. Okay? And there are things that men can see that women can't see in men. And so when I say stay soft, if you have people around you who were designed by God to provide and protect, that gives you the ability to stay soft. Now, I know that in this world where we have the soft girl era, it's almost like a fad to find a guy who's going to give you the soft life. That ain't new. That ain't new. The problem is that what's new is this idea that the soft life has to do with just material, luxurious living. Right? The soft life is, oh, you know, I'm regularly on vacations. I got my feet up. I'm in a spa. I'm shopping. You know, I'm getting my nails done. There's this whole trend on social media where they're like, my hands look like this, so my husband's hands can look like, and his hands look all, you know, worn down and busted and bad cuticles and dirty. And the whole metaphor is about this idea of, I live the soft life and I'm pampered while he lives the rough life to take care of me. You know, maybe that has its place to some extent, but soft life has less to do with a pampered life than it does to do with a protected life. And if women are protected by the men in their lives, there will be less men taking advantage of women. There will be less men abandoning women with children that they had with that woman, because there will be some vetting. And so really, let's go back to the basics. I know that everybody want to be grown and independent and all of these things. And, you know, I'm getting my own bag and I'm doing all of this and women's rights and women's lib and all of that stuff. And I will say, you know, maybe, just maybe, some of the ways that we are advancing are actually ways that we are regressing as a society, right? And so, on a very basic level, if you want to be able to live a soft life, you have to be able to stand in your femininity. And the only way you can stand firm in your femininity, your softness, is to be able to allow the masculine energy around you to step in and do what it was designed to do. Without that balance, you're going to have to create that balance for yourself, right? So without the masculine energy in your life, balancing out the feminine energy in your life, you're going to have to increase in your masculine energy. It's really that simple, because the masculine cannot exist without the feminine, and the feminine cannot exist without the masculine. And so if you're pushing out the men in your life who were supposed to protect you, who were supposed to look out for you, who's supposed to talk to that man and vet him, and that's all on you, then that's why you see a lot of women becoming very masculine in their relationships, because they're doing something they were never intended to do. So think about that.